It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
Just to let you know that I didn't fall too far from my own values. I said, if you want to go see Hoover Dam or Grand Canyon, figure it the F out yourself.
What about you can get a chopper ride out to there, right?
Yeah, I thought about that. And then I also thought about one of my favorite stories of all time, which is the tale of Kobe Bryant, who was...
I'm glad you said it.
And Steve.
Well, 3 months. We're more than 3
Wait, when
months
is it?
out.
It's July, right?
July 10th.
Okay.
So, yeah, more than, more
yeah.
than 3
30
months
days
away.
in a month. Got it.
And when, like,
90 days is more than 2 months.
60-day month over there in England.
Yeah.
They run the Gregorian calendar a little bit differently, do they?
Toilets flush backwards and everything.
And that's just so the ocean doesn't rise up and, like, attack the sea, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Attack the coast?
Yep.
I knew I read the book right.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
I adore digging into our archives like that
Yeah.
and putting together an intro, because we're on a bit of a weird record schedule, so I was digging through, finding some of the times that'll match up, finding some of the audio clips that we'd never used or haven't used in years. And it just spurred the question for me that I want to ask you, and it's a bit of an existential question, Steve. Because there's a couple phases in life that you go through in terms of being a wedding attendee.
Yeah.
Okay? There's...
Love it, by the way.
Do you?
One of my favorite things.
Just, you love love.
I love love. I love open bars.
Love open bars.
I mean, there's nothing better.
There's
I
something
love
special.
I love a good meal. I love cake. Yeah, the love's good.
Yeah,
That's nice.
It's there, but let's be honest. The love is a time waster in the scheme of things. Let me ask you this, though. If you had to sacrifice two of the Rioses at Sandals, Jamaica,
So it's going to be Sandals, Seis Rioses.
to maintain the unlimited drink package, do you still do it?
That unlimited drink package is worth a lot.
Steve, it's the only reason I'm considering in the future a cruise, is just paying for that and being done with it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it. You
Right,
absolutely
yeah.
have to.
Yeah, if you're going and not doing it, I don't understand why you're going.
Oh, you're a big dumb idiot.
Yeah, I mean, oh, look at the water. Yeah, great. You know, I can see that in an atlas. Okay, it's at the edge. That water not good enough? Go to the other edge. Okay, turns out water on both of them. But you go through that phase when you're young, and maybe it's your friends or maybe family who is your age starts getting married, and then that kind of slows down.
Yeah.
And I think I had this realization a couple weeks ago at the most recent wedding that Katie and I were at.
By the way, still happy to accept your wedding invitations.
Oh, yeah. Weren't we supposed to be staying in like someone's annex this fall?
Wasn't it?
And then
Our 3D printer sugar daddy.
it was. Yes. And we have to, I think we were officiating. I don't remember his soon to be bride being okay with that.
She was on board. 100%.
But yes, we are taking all invites. Preferably +2. No, let's just you and I.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have that conversation with my wife that we are all invited
No.
to this wedding that, yeah, let's just avoid that.
You go up to her and you say, Papa's got some work commitments.
And then, obviously, as we talked about, I believe our demands were a table so we can record, and we need to MC the wedding.
Yeah, a couple small things.
Yeah, I don't want to DJ.
Obviously, our accommodations have to be provided.
Obviously.
Talent fee.
And that's why we were getting the annex in the garage, I believe, to stay in. So I had this realization, and I wanted to know if you were there yet, I believe I am through like the main phases of wedding going of my life.
That's depressing.
Because I didn't expect this invite to this wedding we went to a couple weeks ago. It was a coworker of Katie's. So I started running down the list in my brain, in my mind, of who else is going to invite me to their wedding. And I'm now looking at like friends' children 15 years down the road. I don't think I have any.
You're not on to friends getting married for a second time yet?
That hasn't happened yet. And
I've had a couple of them.
God, what a selfish butthole that is.
Yeah.
Throwing that party the second time, like, oh, here we go again. Do I even buy a gift? You know,
Way
can I just go grab the box off the porch of wedding number 1 and give it to him again?
I've been the best man in 2 weddings. I've given 2 speeches.
Okay.
Both of those weddings have ended.
Belly up.
Both of those marriages have ended.
I mean, there's a sense of responsibility there, right?
A little bit.
You got to feel like there's a point of pressure on you that if you had really, or are you now mad because it's like, hey, you went and said things in that speech, presumably, I noticed, they were so-and-so is a different person when they started getting around. It turns out, she was cheating the whole time, something like that. I don't know the details. like, does that feel like, hey, I feel like I was swindled in this whole thing.
Yeah, what the hell?
And I want to take it back.
I used all of my good speeches.
Yes.
Now, if I'm ever asked to be a best man again, which you probably shouldn't do if you were thinking about asking me.
I'll post it on the poll. If you're 0-2, do you deserve a third chance at best man?
Best manning.
Best manning, yeah. Oof. I think I am in a lull that could last years. I'm not close with my...
It's pretty likely, yeah.
My first cousins are, I believe, all married. And I'm not in contact with any of my second... Like, I'll get text messages from my mom or my dad. They'll be, yeah, we're on the way to graduation open house for so-and-so. I don't know who that person is.
Yeah,
and they'll answer, your cousin. And
I don't know who my second cousins are.
Okay.
I don't know how to quantify them. I know my first cousins. I got a lot of them. Yeah, I don't know what a second cousin is.
Am I...
Does that make me sound stupid that I don't know that?
Well, I think you know what it is. You just don't know them.
No, I don't know what it is. I don't know how second cousins works and how the...
Well, then, yes. The answer is yes. So it does make...
Roger.
It's your cousin's kid.
My cousin's kid is my second cousin?
Yeah.
See, I would think it would be my cousin's...
Cousin's cousin?
No, because then that would be my cousin.
Boy, then we're in the circle of cousins, and that's never been good. Is the circle of cousins ever good? Yeah. No.
This is tough. This is tough.
The only reason that you would probably be close with them is if your first cousins were older. Right?
See,
so they had kids.
I don't feel like my cousin's kids should be my cousins. I should be their...
We're still on the semantics
I
of it.
should be like their great uncle or...
Okay.
Because cousins makes it sound like we're the same generation. And I'm not down with that. I'm your elder. I should be your elder uncle.
That's a good point.
Right?
If you're not in the same generation...
You can't be cousins.
You know what? Because now I'm getting self-conscious. I want to make sure.
Oh boy!
I know that a second cousin is a child of one's parents' first cousin. So it'd be like your mom's cousin.
Wait, say it again. It's a
second cousin via the dictionary.
Okay,
is a child of one's parents' first cousin.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they are my generation. So
it is your mom. So I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. You're the big dumb idiot.
What is a cousin's kid child to me? First cousin once removed.
There we go.
We don't need to talk to them.
So if your mom has a cousin, which I'm assuming she does, that cousin's child is your second cousin.
Got it.
Now, what if that cousin's child has a child? Is that that's your second cousin once removed?
Is my second cousin's
child
to me, right?
Second cousin once removed.
Child. It's got to be second cousin once removed. Second, Boy, we're answering a lot of questions because I didn't know what once removed meant. I thought that was divorced stuff.
No, once removed is generational. Like
Got
they're
it.
one removed from your generation.
So what is
How is it that I am right about this?
What is your
That is an upset.
what is your dad's wife's cousin?
Because so specifically because my dad's
remarried.
wife, yeah,
Your dad is remarried, so that is not your cousin by blood.
No.
That would be your cousin. Okay. What is
Is it a cousin by association?
like the NBA? That's what I had no idea.
Yeah.
What is my dad's second?
No, my dad's wife's.
Yeah, but the Google's probably going to think that's your mom.
Well, my dad's maybe say remarried wife.
Who's my dad's wife's cousin to me? That's your cousin-in-law.
Okay.
That's easier than first cousin once removed.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little.
Boy, we got to streamline this. I think instead of
Can we fix?
we just had to come up with a new name.
Right.
Instead of just, we have cousins, we know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But then your first cousin once removed should be just like, just, I don't know, pick a random name, like your potato. I don't care what, just,
Right.
It just has to have a completely different name.
Okay. Google really screwed this one up. But just in case you're wondering, if your dad remarried his cousin, that person would be your step aunt.
Got it.
So
Okay.
keep that in the hopper for, again, if your dad decides to remarry but his own cousin. Thank you. If you're ever wondering if AI is going to come for all the jobs, that answer should handle it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you in the wedding cycle of life, Steve? Because I didn't mean to bring the existential aging and dead period of weddings to you.
Yeah.
But I'd be now curious, when was the last wedding you went to, and what is the next one in the four of you?
Yeah. Last wedding I went to was about a year and a half ago. It was my cousin, first cousin.
That's a spell.
I believe that my next one, we have nothing planned.
So you haven't had a year and a half. So you're talking early parts of 2024. You were at your last wedding.
I think it was like January 2024.
Woof, that's not thoughtful either, by the way.
It was in Florida though.
Hey,
That was
destination? Nice. Woof.
No, that's where they live.
Yeah, destination for you. Inconsiderate.
Isn't every wedding a destination for someone?
That's true. It's very true.
I would say that the next one, because I have a lot of cousins, the next one, I would assume that it would be another cousin or one of Annette's cousins, because they're all, she has a lot of younger cousins. I have a lot of younger cousins. So a lot of them are getting to that age where it's like mid to late 20s, early 30s, starting to get married and, do their thing. I don't think I have anything else.
But are you sure of these? Because listen, cousin relationships are different among everybody. I was close with my cousins when we were young, and now go years without seeing them or talking to them. But now that I think about it, it's probably that way with everybody in my life, aside of my wife and kid, parents. Don't want to talk to you. You, I guess. But anyway,
We digress.
Do you think for certain all of those are going to be for sure invites for you?
My cousins? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm very confident.
You're confident.
I'm confident that, I think 4 of them have gotten married so far. I've been invited to all of them. I think I've been able to go to 2 of them.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think you're overstating the. I just wonder where that line is of where.
Yeah.
I don't know. He turned down Tim and Joe, but he came to, Bob and Diane's. Why does he hate Tim and Joe? Because he must hate me.
Yeah. I think one of them, actually, no, 2 of them, I think that they both got married like very close to when my kids were born. So
Okay.
it wasn't something I didn't want to up and leave Annette at home with either 1 or 2 young children.
What's the cutoff for you to save face here? So let's say, I don't know where they're located, but let's say it's a trip and it's not a simple trip. So let's say, Arizona, California, something like that. And because it's the way people are doing it nowadays, it's a Friday. So you've got to fly out on a Thursday.
I'm in.
You're going to do it anyway.
I am not one of those people who's going to poo-poo the Friday wedding. I think the Friday wedding's great. It gives me...
No, I'm not even poo-pooing it for that. I'm just saying, just to make the scenario harder on you. It's
I love
cross-country
it.
the other way.
I love it. I love going to places I've never been to before.
Sure.
So if you can set me up in a place that, take me to a Phoenix or something. I've never been to Phoenix before.
Oh, I thought you meant like bride and groom had to make the accommodations for you.
I mean, the offer would be nice. That's asking a little too much. I apologize, but you're the one getting married.
So you're inviting me.
I mean, granted, I offered to pay for all of my guests' accommodations and travel. Every last one of them.
Just the right thing to do, Steve.
Just the right thing to do.
Just the right thing. Okay, listen. Then it's just
I gave you gas money when you came to my wedding.
That's right. That's right. The long-lasting memory I have of your wedding was being dragged to an extra bar after I wanted to go home 3 hours before. And listen, I wanted to be there as much as the bartender wanted to be there.
I just wanted to pay you back for the cheese at your wedding, which I feel like I am forever indebted to you for.
10 times over, that debt's been repaid. Thank you very
the platter. Very much. Have we talked about that before? Boy. I think we have at great length.
I think we have, and I believe it's even been a flashback.
I know that I may be building this up in my mind, but in my brain, that platter had cheese on top of it 2 feet deep.
It's the type of platter you only see in medieval movies.
Yeah.
That's been placed in front of a king.
Yeah.
Except in this case, the proverbial king of this situation, me.
You, yeah. It was your day.
The groom saw 0 cheese. Because some jackass ate it all.
I can assure you, that jackass loved the cheese.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Dear Pig. What we got over there?
Oh, Steve, this looks like another shipment from our friends at, I forget what the name of it is, Broadview Federal Credit Union, I believe.
No longer the Bill Payment Processing Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Our apologies to the employment in Sioux Falls, South Dakota at the BPPC. Hope you can recover. And as we now know from a couple of weeks ago, I've been barred from the traditional letter opener by our friend Leanne, who sent us these child letter openers. It's the only way to phrase it. It's a red rectangle. And I still screwed it up.
Jesus. He did so good.
I mean,
for like 80% of that.
I feel like we need to hire an intern just for this. Good heavens. That's embarrassing. I didn't get the check. So our friend, thank you, as always, to our friend Billy Stacks and our friends at Broadway FCU, no longer our friends at the BPPC in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, for providing and fill in those coffers so Steve, you and I eventually can do something with that cash, that means something that we can provide to content for this podcast.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've made a stupid purchase.
I told you I've been itching. I've been itching to get us on the road somewhere. I am still waiting. I'm not kidding you. I had a 30-minute phone call. This was at this point way too long ago, like 60 days ago, with some ad loser hawking receipt wares and grocery cart ads. So him and I were honing in on Peoria and 3 other, Moline.
Oh, Moline, of course.
And a couple other metropolises in that area that we could get our faces on grocery carts fronts.
How long does it take us to get to Peoria from here?
I believe it was all within a 6-ish hour drive, I thought.
Boy, that's a lot.
We're flying. I mean, see, the coffers
coffers
are, we're doing good. We're renting a car. Yeah. Or one of our friendly listeners is going to pick us up and drive us around.
Take me to Piggly Wiggly. I need to see my receipt.
Speaking of travel, this is a weird record schedule, so this is a bit out of whack, me asking you this, but I haven't been able to follow up in weeks, and I need to know many, many things about one of the topics that's been on this document for a while.
Yeah.
You mentioned so offhandedly, and I don't know why you do it that way, because you know it's going to just boggle my brain. that you want to bring your BMX bike here. And that you were in you joined like a Facebook group of, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to be mean. You joined a Facebook group of like-minded folk.
It's not how I expected you to describe it, but
well, listen, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, Steve. We were trying to keep things cordial. I've known you for a long time, and I don't want me calling you and a bunch of weirdos BMXing. I don't want that to be what would cause the dissolution of this podcast. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny. It's funny that you bring that up
because travel's here. Like
travel, I mean, at this point, travel has already happened.
Right.
If you're listening to this, in real world, no, it has not happened yet. Now, originally, we were supposed to drive to New Jersey to see my family, back to the old country,
the homeland.
The homeland, yeah.
I'm so excited. By the way, I want to go sometime. I want to go
there
happen. when you're there, just to hang out with Brother Mike.
Do you just want to hop in the car and go with us? You got a couple days off that you can put in?
I could easily get a couple days off to jump on Spirit. And...
Me and Annette and the kids, we hop in the car Friday morning, start to drive to the airport. And say, oh, hold on 1 second, hon. Turn down your street. And you're standing at the end of your driveway.
Backpack in hand. Waving excitedly.
You squeeze in between Nikki and Evelyn in the back seat.
Flip-flops on and my neck pillow. And for some reason, I'm like chewing gum too loudly. Guys, excited?
That's Travel Kyle.
Can't wait. Think we're going to see
having a good time.
Think we're going to see the ocean? I checked the weather. Looks real good. I hear Grandma's got the sauce.
Of course, you have like your top 3 buttons unbuttoned. And a plume of chest hair poking out.
No question. And a gold chain. And a hairpiece that nobody's mentioning. Because you always vacation with a hairpiece.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't.
Yeah. I'll post it on the poll. Do you always vacation with a hairpiece? Because listen, I don't go anywhere without it outside of here in my day-to-day life.
I can't wait to get there. Oh, flight's not delayed.
And then that half asleep was starting with Bobcat in the car. Because she understands Bobcat Gold.
She, of course, of all people, she understands Bobcat. So, originally the plan was to drive the 12 to the 16 hours to New Jersey. Normally 11, 12 hours, add a couple kids into the equation, bunch of stops. It was going to take us a long time. You, of all people, said, no, I got you covered. You started being travel agent Kyle. Sent me flight after flight after flight until finally I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to book the flight. Mm-hmm. I'll bite the bullet, book the flight. So originally my plan was when we were driving, we were going to have the big luggage carrier thing up on the roof of the car. By the way, that luggage carrier can be rented for just $100 a week from Steve's luggage carrier rental business.
Is this the first time it's being...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I was going to save enough room so I could take my old BMX bike apart at my mom's house, put it in the luggage carrier, bring it back.
So family vacation.
Yeah.
You were blocking in a couple of hours to disassemble a 30-year-old bicycle?
25. 25, yeah.
Okay. We just have a different sense of vacation. But
I mean, that would take me half hour probably.
Yeah, right.
No big deal. Now, nobody was getting any souvenirs on this vacation because Daddy's got to have room for his BMX bike in the bubble on the top of the car. So I was going to bring it back. And then we decided to fly. Obviously, I could bring a bike on a plane, but I don't want to be that guy. So...
Yeah, I mean, you see people with golf clubs and other, musical instruments. Mm-hmm. How does the world famous oboist get from gig to gig? Right?
That's a damn good question.
So you wouldn't be out of the norm. Now, for a Spirit flight, yes, but you're already riding with scum, so you don't care what they think.
No, not at all. So yeah, it's not going to happen the way that I wanted it to happen.
Okay.
Unless something does happen that I need to reach out about. So
like to me?
No.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't want to have any responsibility for your vacation.
So, yeah, I'm not going to be able to drive back with my bike because I'm not going to be driving. The fact that you brought this up at this exact moment blows my mind.
Okay.
Because earlier today, I got a text from a friend of mine who had texted me probably a month ago when I had talked about my BMX dreams on the side gig. So a friend of his reached out to him and said, I got a bike that Steve can have.
Okay, so you got through the weird opening conversations of, are you serious? And Steve, you're 44 and you have less than 350 days to live, according to Kyle,
right?
Et cetera, et cetera. You got done with all of that.
Yeah. So, and I had totally forgotten about it until about 15 minutes ago when I got a text from Ben saying, your bike is at my house.
Okay. So we've now done the bike chain, the Bike Pony Express,
Yes.
where you now have a BMX bike?
Kyle,
Because
if you would divert your eyes up to the
Tron.
Tron,
Oh, no.
I will show you that I am now the proud owner
I haven't seen it yet.
of a high voltage thruster.
My God almighty. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Folks, I'm going to try to give you an image of what just graced the Tron. And I don't know if I can do it justice. So this will be posted.
Yeah.
Not only will this be posted, your first pedals must be posted. You are not allowed to ride that
Okay.
until Annette or myself is videoing your first BMX pedals in how long?
It's been a while.
And again, we haven't even recapped how this came up in your life again. Because this was a thing 60 days ago, and I don't know if it was a Facebook group thing that caused you. I want to get that here.
Yeah.
What I have in front of me is, like you said, a thruster.
It's a high voltage thruster.
It's a high voltage
I believe
thruster.
that's a high voltage.
And it looks like a bike a 9-year-old would be riding around the block, okay? It's aftermarket red brakes. Not brake pads, but aftermarket red,
Yeah.
like the clamp.
The brake arms. Yeah.
It's solid gold.
Is it? I can't tell if it's gold.
Can you give me a quick zoom on that again? On the high voltage thruster?
Dude, I think...
Again, this is what 13-year-olds, when they don't know how to look for pornography, they're typing in high voltage thruster. It's very brown gold mixed with rust.
I believe that...
You're gonna die, and your casket's gonna have rust because you can't escape it.
I believe that this used to be, at one point, this was a chrome bicycle, and it looks like it's been left out in the elements for many years. It's now turning to rust. Is
this what you expected when you thought to yourself, I want to bring my BMX bike here or have a BMX bike? Is this the thing, the idea of what you were thinking?
No, this thing's a piece of shit. I'm not riding this thing.
So if you were to post this right now on one of your multitudes of BMXer groups for 40-year-olds,
Oh, I'd get laughed out of town.
you'd get the high voltage thruster would not pass muster.
The thruster would not pass the muster.
Okay.
Can't believe this. Here I am. I was excited that I was going to get myself a decent bike for free. So
Well,
yes, this beggar is being a chooser.
So I guess, do you have a picture you could provide me right now, or whatever, that is more in line with what you were thinking? Because what is wrong? Again, you're talking to a BMX buffoon here, okay? A BB. I don't know what's wrong with the thruster outside of it looks like a children's bike. Is that the...
Apologies for my squeaky chair.
Now it's noticeable. I brought it up to you once.
I had never noticed it before.
I think it is a just this week problem.
You know something? If I were to pull up a picture of a bike that I want and the high voltage thruster, you being the BB that you are, you probably wouldn't notice much of a difference.
Okay.
I'd be able to point out 1,000 things that are different.
Sure. And bore the planet to eternity
Right.
with those differences. So the thruster doesn't pass the muster. So now you're back at square one.
Yeah,
What?
But
Where's
the
your
problem is, I have to take the thruster.
Oh, because it was like it's a gift.
It kind of is a gift.
Like if someone gave you the thruster as a birthday gift or something. I'd love to see and know how you react. Because you're looking, hey, it's a great bike. I got a real good line on it, and I'm gonna give it to you for your birthday. Happy birthday in advance. And they drop that puppy off on the driveway with a red ribbon on the front. Do you tell them outright it's a piece of junk?
I mean, yes. No, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Can you pull the thruster
wanna-
up
you wanna
one
see
more
the
time,
thruster?
please? Yeah.
I'm going to show you the thruster.
So in regards to us right now, how far away is the thruster?
Mileage wise from us,
Well, like yeah, if you wanted to get the thruster tonight,
I could be there in 20 minutes.
okay. What's your plan? Because this is all unraveling right now while we're recording. I didn't know this had happened in your life or that you had a conversation about a BMX bike with another
But
adult.
I bet you're glad it happened in my
I'm
life.
thrilled it happened because this thing has pegs that are meant for a net. Well, Big Bacon Steve is ripping wheelies around the sack.
The Zach.
Yeah, spelling. Pronunciation. I'm sorry, I'm learning. When you look at the thruster, what are your plans for it today that you can change, upgrade, make this the BMXer of your dreams?
No, there's no saving the thruster. The thruster does not pass the muster. I mean, I could upgrade all I want, but
No, the thruster is a
look,
couple of...
come on. It's got a 1-inch head tube, a threaded head tube. Those things haven't been commonplace since the mid-90s.
I mean, how can you do your handlebar spins?
There's not even a gyro on it. What's this, a 48-tooth ring?
Now, is the thruster 2 degrees of separation to this podcast then?
Yeah.
So if we post the thruster on social media and talk about, obviously it's going to coincide, not with any captioning, but with this podcast where we're kind of dumping on the thruster. Well, you are. I don't know anything about it. It looks like a children's bike to me. I don't see anything wrong with it outside of those obnoxious pegs and the red brake clamps. But obviously you said, head tubes.
Yeah.
And everybody knows the head tube.
Yeah.
It's the first place erosion attacks. All right, the gyro.
All right, I'm putting, let's see, on the rundown for today, the thruster doesn't pass the muster.
You're not a mean person. And you're not going to do anything. This isn't at the person's house. The person who's pawning off the thruster is probably over the moon that they got rid of it.
Yes.
But now
this is their bird bath.
Yes.
And
Rotted wood
with rusty nails. They finally found someone to take the thruster.
You've become the rotted wood sucker.
I don't like that.
Post it in the pool. Do you ever want to live long enough to see yourself become the rotted wood sucker? You are going to pick that up because you can't, in good conscience, leave it at your friend's house.
No, I have to.
Your friend was just the intermediary.
He was, and he doesn't know that the thruster is a piece of crap.
I was going to say, did he text you like, hey, look at this awesome rig?
I just texted him back and said, LOL, does that say high voltage thruster on it? And I'm hoping, please, he replies and says, hey, man, sorry about this. It looks like a real piece of crap.
So you're waiting for the apology from him.
I'm just hoping that he acknowledges that the thruster is not the BMX dream that I had.
Yeah, you were anticipating, the bike from Rad, right? Yes. Let me just Google the last year or just anything about the high voltage thruster.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, there's 0 results.
Wow. We've stumped the internet. That's impressive.
Okay, here we go. Freestyle thruster. These at a bike shop. Now, these are old.
Mm-hmm. I would say, by looking at that, I'm assuming mid-90s.
Okay, there's a picture someone posted of your exact bike. Recently acquired a 2001 high voltage thruster, super clean and awesome embroidered. Oh, God, you BMX people are butts.
Embroidered what?
Like awesome embroidery on the seat. It's got like a yellow logo on it. Maybe this is the one you need. Maybe this is the thruster.
How much? How much are they?
Well, this person, I don't think they're selling it. They received it a couple of months ago.
Okay.
Were these good bikes back in the day? Wonder if it's worth keeping clean. It's a department store bike.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where you are.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's other BMX buttholes who are saying, looks nice, grabbed it to mess around while I restore my other BMX. If there's ever a group...
All right, so the thruster is basically my intermediate bike. It's my stepping stone bike.
Which, honestly, the fact that you're currently looking down on the thruster as a guy who hasn't properly BMX'd in 30 years.
Yeah.
Maybe the thruster is just what you need for right now.
Imagine me showing up to the skate park on the thruster.
I imagine you showing up to the skate park, period, is the end of that sentence for me. Because no, I can't see that, and I can't wait. Again, this will all be video logged because, and again, I don't want to be, I hate to be terse here, act like the boss. You're not allowed to ride the thruster until I'm here with you, watching you take the first, the
First cranks.
the first pedal cranks, the first spins around the sack on the thruster as you get your feet underneath you again. On your year 44 journey into becoming a renewed BMXer.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't even feign.
All right, he replied.
Okay.
Because I had said, does it say high voltage thruster on it?
Yes.
He just said, F yeah.
Okay. I'm now adding, because next week when we meet and we do another round of the Wheel of Good Things.
The Wogget, as we're calling it.
I just added thruster update. Because, again, video soon.
Yeah, but by next, I don't know. Oh, yeah. We should be good. I should
Right.
be
You'll
able
have been home. There'll have been time. Either way, if you don't have it in your possession, I need to know the conversation of you convincing your friend to utilize all of his trash can space on the thruster instead of you using your trash can space on the high voltage thruster.
See, now I think that the thruster, I don't know if it's going to be the right bike for me. I'm not sure. I don't want to judge it too harshly yet, even though I already did.
You did pretty hard.
With
pretty
harsh
yes.
words. But at bare minimum, the thruster is going to look nice hanging up in this studio.
We can clear some wall space for that.
We'll clear wall space for the thruster.
You're absolutely right. I'm sorry, vertical photo of the Mackinac Bridge. You need to find a new home. There's now a vertical thruster. And not from a rocket ship.
Mm-mm.
So have you put...
From the 90s.
Have you put any consideration back into maybe boxing up the childhood BMX from the homeland and shipping it back here somehow?
Yes. Because I actually had somebody who reached out to me when I talked about it on the side gig who owns a bike shop in New Jersey.
Okay.
And said they offered to ship it from New Jersey to my house here in Michigan for free.
Your bike. Not
My
like
bike.
a new good bike.
No, my bike.
Your
So
1990s one.
And we're going to be somewhat in the area of that bike shop.
So you just need to bring it to him disassembled.
I could bring it to him. I could take it to him. He'd probably disassemble it for me.
Okay, that's a big assumption, but I mean, you could just bring it to him already disassembled.
I don't have all my tools. Yeah, I couldn't be bothered.
Boy, these gift horses, they sure do get looked at. Square away in their mouth, too. Kind of crazy. I can't wait for this update. And because now I'm being, by my own work, taken, the audio log of your road trip has been taken from me, along with many other things this year, like your long hair and lack of beard.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to need some updates while you're there. Maybe can you shoot a video of when you get the bike, maybe a video of you on it, or at least of it, like how it looks and how it functions, so we can post for the listeners. Because,
absolutely.
I'm not saying you're running the high voltage thruster short of what it is. I think your brain may be doing something with your personal BMX bike that is it 30 years old, do you think?
Yeah, probably close. 20. No, I would say, I feel like I got that bike, oh boy. Yeah, probably 98, 99.
So you're holding Bill Allen and crew memories from the movie Rad on that bike.
Yeah.
That I wonder when you see it as a fresh-faced, mid-30s-year-old man, if that's going to stay for you.
I think it will, because I see it every time I'm
at
my mom's house. Okay. It's hanging up on a hook in the garage.
Give it a fresh wax.
Yeah, I just look at it and think, my past.
Probably need some new tires on that thing at this point.
Definitely, yeah. A lot of things need to be replaced, I would bet.
So please stay tuned. Again, that's at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and catch the videos there, please, of Steve's BMX bike. The picture of the high voltage thruster is up there as well. And pretty soon you won't need a picture of it. Going to be hanging right on this wall sooner than we know it. Well, this is delightful. I can't wait.
That might be the Comanche's first journey, to go pick up the high voltage thruster.
Pick up the thruster. Oh, God, come on. Let's not conflate things. A Comanche's not seeing the light of day.
When you get that text from me with the cryptic message,
yes,
just know that I'm picking you up and we're going directly to pick up the thruster.
We're taking a small detour to go get the thruster. So again, crack the windows so the diesel smell can drain out.
Now again, it's all been fixed.
It's fixed. That's right.
No issues. Nothing to worry about.
I mean, no issues other than it's not working.
There are other issues.
Right. That issue.
Yeah, there are multiple issues. That is not currently one of them.
What a pleasant detour. Unexpected. Thank you, Steve. I also I need to get your wife's thoughts on this, because she's got to be more worried about your physical well-being than ever before. You're not that far removed from almost falling off a beam in your own garage. You're also not that far removed from almost having a roof fall on your head. And you're going to go out there and pop wheelies on the thruster.
Talk to you next week.